prized the tank up, hole cut in the bottom. Thought, okay, what's going on here? And you can YouTube this gold found in tank. It's only the first 300 pages.
Hey there guys, how's it going, and welcome to another video. And as you can already tell from the title, this isn't going to be a normal video, and nor is that going to be a normal wedding entrance. Yes, my friend is hiring a tank for his wedding. Now, he wants something completely different, something big. He's a big guy himself as well. So what better than getting a tank? So we got in touch with this company up in Northamptonshire, and yeah, I kind of wasn't expecting what I've just witnessed. Okay guys, so we are now in this compound with so many amazing military vehicles. We are with the man himself, Todd. How you doing, champ? You good? Thank you so much for showing us around. My friends are here because they needed a tank for their wedding. And what I am just witnessing here is absolutely astonishing. I'm not used to these type of vehicles, but I think I'm falling in love. And we have this tank here, which is the one that they've selected. What is it?
This is an Abbott SPG 433. Fires 105 millimeter high explosive shell. Range is about 17 miles.
So is this the king of tanks?
This is the king of self-propelled guns. It's very, very fast. It'll do about 40-45 miles an hour over rough terrain. And
what wars was this mostly used in?
This was primarily a Cold War weapon. That being said, it was used in the Falklands. It was used in Canada as a training weapon.
Wow.
Mind you, it's being used in a lot of places around the world today.
Wow. And what size engine does it have?
It's got a K60 supercharged Rolls-Royce engine.
Rolls-Royce?
Yeah, most British Armor is powered by Rolls-Royce.
That's crazy.
Yeah, very, very powerful.
And is this up there with one of your favorite tanks?
Yeah, it probably is, because I get to drive these on public roads. If you wanted this tank in London, do a little tour of London then by all means you could hire it.
That is awesome. Well, and the whole turret moves and
everything moves, everything's live. The gun, all you got to do is load it.
Really? If you got ammunition for this, this is ready to go?
Ready to go, yeah.
What was this? Sorry, Todd?
This is another Abbott 433. This is the tank that we use for grenade promotions. The company's owned by a guy called Al Barrett, who's a very good personal friend of mine.
Yes.
And he likes an orange tank in line with the company's logo. Mm-hmm. And
so this is their tank, or this is a tank that you've
done? We primarily use
because it's contracted work, maybe.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Wicked, awesome. Okay, that is really, really cool. And what is your favorite tank out of all of them? Because we have so much around us here. I've never been exposed to this kind of kit before.
No, that's why.
And that's why, you know, when you said that this is a totally different feel, like you have a Bentley over there, right? That it's like it looks like an off-road weapon. Now I'll show you that in a second, but.
Yeah. Now, when Jazz said he wanted to hire a helicopter, I said to Jazz, listen, mate, people see helicopters in the sky every day of the week.
Exactly.
They see them land, they see them take off every now and again.
Yeah.
It's exciting for 10 seconds.
Yes.
And then it's over. You know, how many people get to see heavy armor rolling up to the wherever?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you.
Helicopters all the time.
Yeah.
They never see tanks.
Yeah.
They never get up and close with it. They can't touch it.
Yeah.
Jazz said to me earlier today, "Ooh, will this tank take my weight?" I was like, "Sakes, mate, this will take a 105 millimeter high explosive shell. You know, it's going to take your weight."
Big John's at it.
It's not a prop. It's not a replica. It's the actual thing, still fully functional.
Oh man! And you know what the brilliant thing is? I actually am wearing a green suit on the day as well.
Are you?
Yeah.
You already chose your suit?
Yeah, I already had chosen. It was green anyways. Military green as well. God, look at this.
Hey, Daddy.
This is a Mark 10 Chieftain main battle tank. This is 60 tons of absolute devastation.
What is this? Look at it. 70 tons.
60.
60 tons.
This is the tank I drove in Fast and Furious 6. If you watch the movie, don't bother. 3.5 hours of your life wasted. Watch the making of the tank scene, Fast and Furious 6 on YouTube. 3.5 minutes of pure adrenaline.
What Todd just said. We've got to check that out. I haven't watched that yet. We've got to check that out. But this is your favorite, and it's also now my favorite too, Todd.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
it's one of my favorites.
This looks absolutely stunning. And you get to drive this on the road?
I don't get to drive this on public roads, because if I drove this on public roads, then guess what? Nobody else would be able to use that road for 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
This will destroy any public road that it's driven on. It's too heavy.
Yeah, of course. Whoa.
I've been asked to drive this through London by different film and production companies, and I've said to them, listen, I drive that through London, I'm gonna collapse Piccadilly Tube Station.
Yeah, and if you went on the bridge, 100%.
Yeah, gone. Yeah.
60 tons is no joke.
And that's non-battle weight. Battle weight, it's close to 70 tons.
I bench that.
Of course you do.
This wasn't started last time, was it?
Todd is a legend. What a man.
Mine's very temperamental.
Whoa, this is wall. Oh my days. Oh my days. It kind of smells good. Wow. What engine does this have?
L80 supercharged Rolls-Royce engine.
How much power does that produce?
What kind of car do you drive?
Well, the most powerful one?
The most powerful car you have ever driven?
740 horsepower,
What kind of car was it?
Aventador.
Yeah, times that by about 200.
Where's the exit? Taxi for one.
The guy called Jenson Button, who won the Formula One World
Of course, of
Championship
course.
here, the year that he won it, he came up here and started driving main battle tanks for part of his training. And Nick and I couldn't quite work out why it is that was going to help him win the World Championship that year. And he said, driving an F1 car is about managing power. Getting it around the track efficiently as possible, but managing the power. A main battle tank like that is the only vehicle in the world that's more powerful than his F1 car by a factor of 10.
Wow.
And driving main battle tanks is about managing power.
Oh.
So he transferred the management of power on a main battle tank to his F1 car, and the proof is in the pudding because he won the World Championship that year.
Wow. Wow.
The only
the
thing is-
science behind the whole thing is just, it makes sense.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to talk about it for years, and the only reason why I can talk about it now is because that many years have elapsed. But the fact of the matter is, every time he used to come up here, week after week after week in the off season before the F1 season kicked off, is because he would fly from Monaco in his private jet, land at Heathrow, get in his helicopter. Get in his helicopter and land here on that lawn there, and he had a different hot blonde with him every time he came.
Go on,
I
but
was never allowed to talk about it.
what is this, Todd? Because this has some sort of like
This
missile
Is
attached to the top of it.
this is a 434 armored personnel carrier.
Retired.
No, it
Still functions.
It still functions. And this is a 2,000-pound high explosive bonnet. It's called a daisy cutter.
Oh yeah, but it's just a shell. There's not actually stuff in it, is there?
There's stuff in it, yeah.
What? And you can just keep it here like that?
Yeah.
And do you have to have like special licensing for all of this sort of stuff?
You don't need licensing, and the reason why you don't need it is because if you don't ask permission to do something, then no one can say no.
Do you feel comfortable sleeping next to a bomb?
Sorry?
Do you feel comfortable like having like well, imagine how would you like go to sleep every day?
Perfectly comfortable.
Is it safe up there?
Well, if I'm sleeping next to 2,000 pounds of high explosive, then no one's going to come and rob me, are they?
Oh yeah, that is true.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. This is beautiful. This looks like a more like a wedding carriage kind of military vehicle. Look at this.
We did use this for a wedding last week. It's not the most reliable of vehicles, unfortunately. It's a WC command car. This is 1942. This was used by a guy called George Patton.
Who was George?
George Patton was a U.S. Army general. He led all U.S. forces that landed at Omaha Beach in D-Day.
Ah, okay.
And this was his command car.
Wow. Some history there as well.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I really wanted to show him your Bentley around here. This was such a fascinating car. What's the story behind this Bentley?
The Bentley was it's just a W12 engine Bentley, bog standard Bentley. And for the purpose of a TV show called Supercar Mega Build, they wanted to turn it into a more military-looking vehicle. So they spent £250,000 upgrading the suspension on it.
Big budget.
Pieces to it.
Looks incredible.
And it was bought by a guy called, after the show, a guy called Sean Lynch, who was in Boyzone or Westlife.
Yes.
I don't know.
He bought it and it's road legal and...
He bought it road legal, terrible to drive, uses a lot of fuel, and he got bored of it, and given that a W engine Bentley probably cost you best part of £100,000, and given that it was another £250,000 was spent on it doing what they did to it, he wanted to get rid of it, and he wanted to get rid of it cheap. And we said, how much do you want for it? Because we didn't want it. Surplus to requirements. He said, what are you willing to offer for it? And we said, I don't know, 10 grand for it.
Oh,
he said, give me 11, it's a deal. So that's what we paid for it, 11 grand. And then you can't say no, can you?
No, what?
Yeah.
This is the baddest car. You don't even want to, yard. Look at it, and it's mint.
Yeah.
Wow. I need that luck.
At 11 grand, you can't say no.
Not at all. Not the whole interior. It's no, that's incredible. Look at the amount. It's a one-off car.
Yeah.
There's not another one like it in the world.
No.
Absolutely incredible, Todd. Wow, look at the front of it. It's just, imagine this just coming at you. Even if you had this in your field, right, in the back, and you just let the kids just whiz around on it. Oh, look at that.
The last thing I'm going to show you before I watch the rest of my cricket tonight.
Oh, yeah? There's a cricket. Oh, Musty, don't even start on the cricket with him.
Is it day one?
That's day one, yeah. This is probably one of the most famous tanks in the world.
Oh.
This is a Chinese copy of a T-54, a T-69. The difference between the two tanks is absolutely negligible. When I was restoring this tank, and believe me, it came here, this was a pile of rust. Had no tracks on it, nothing. When we were restoring this tank, halfway through the restoration, I removed all the external fuel tanks. I had the one more to go, which was this one here. And an external fuel tank and a main battle tank is light as a feather. But when I went to pick this one up, knowing there was no fuel in it whatsoever, it just weighed a ton. And I thought,
oh wow,
shit, this is full of something. And generally, with tanks that you know that have been used in combat, if you've got something that's out of the ordinary, it's going to be either an IED, which is an improvised explosive device, full of weapons or full of something really nasty. Prized the tank up, hole cut in the bottom, thought, okay, what's going on here? And you can YouTube this gold found in tank. It's only the first 300 pages. I reached up into it and it was full of looted Kuwaiti gold. This was used by Iraqi forces in the invasion of Kuwait in 1991. The Iraqis knew they weren't going to be in country for very long, so they were using their tanks as looting lorries. And they filled as much gold, they put as much gold into this tank as they possibly could. And 30 years later, I found it in this tank here. 2.5 million pounds.
No wonder you love tanks.
I don't love tanks. I hate tanks. Tanks are hard work. Tanks are the most unreliable vehicle you could ever possibly want to own. That being said, a tank like this sat here.
Can I just ask? Sorry, can I just ask? What was your first initial reaction when you discovered that this was gold?
Relief. Because if I find weapons in here, I gotta explain that to the police. If I find an IED, I'm probably gonna die.
So your emotions went from I could potentially die to
thank God it's only gold. Yeah.
What?
But this tank is gold. This appreciates in value by between 50 and 100 pounds every day of the week, every day of the year. And the reason being that a lot of governments want tanks like this. Why? They can't afford to buy new tanks. They can't afford to build new tanks. But you buy an aftermarket upgrade kit for the ballistic computer system in this, you got a tank that's just as good as a modern tank that was built in the 1950s.
That is ready to use for battle?
Ready to use for battle.
Oh my days. But this pink Rolls Royce, it looks like something Puff Daddy would have at his 60th birthday. This is a baby.
This was bought at auction about 3 or 4 years ago, and it was put in the catalog as I think a silver Continental or whatever. Silver Continentals aren't worth that much money. It was pink, so not many people are going to pay a lot of money for it. It was used as a prom car. They got it wrong in the catalog. It's actually a silver spur. They mislabeled it in the catalog. Silver spurs are very valuable.
Wow.
But because it was sold as a Silver Continental, I think we paid about 3,000 pounds for it, and it's actually worth about 10 times that much.
Gem, absolute gems.
Now this is what happens, Jazz, when you're finished with your marriage. At the end of your married life, this is how you go.
Oh no. It's a funeral. It's a hearse.
A tank hearse. We cut the side armor out of it, reconfigured the fuel tanks, ripped out the interior of a American Cadillac hearse, and installed it in here.
And this must get used for a lot of military funerals?
Yeah. Yeah, this is the only one in the world, though.
It's a very cool idea.
That goes out quite regularly.
Sad that, but what a tank.
Well, sad in a way, but if you...
It's a great way, it's like
well,
the way they want it to go out.
Great way that if somebody wants to sign off that way, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, like there's Rolls-Royce Phantom hearses as well, isn't there? There's a company that has 14 of them.
Yeah. There's a story behind everything, and I'd love to tell you. I can tell you 1,000 things, all of which you say that can't possibly be true. It's all true. All true.
Okay, well, awesome. Todd, thank you so much for showing us around your place. You're a top fella, and you have so many stories to tell. Hopefully, the viewers are going to be demanding more of you, so thank you so much for showing us around. Really appreciate it.
Jazz, I'm going to remind you, be prepared for Tuesday. You will never see anything like it, and you have hired Rolling Thunder. It is Rolling Thunder. You are going to be God. You are.
God.
Well done, mate, for making the right decision.
Come on, man.
Mustafa, well done for organizing it.
No worries.
I wish I could be there. If I could shift a few things around, I would be there. I'd love to.
Oh.
But, c'est la vie.
Top fella. Thank you so much, Todd.
Quite all right.
Love, brother. Peace.
All right.
So there we have it. We've chosen the tank, and that is going to turn up at Jazz's wedding, and it's going to be incredible. Todd has some amazing stories to tell. He was very kind enough to show us around. Hopefully we'll be making more videos with him in the future. He has some crazy kit about here, has some fantastic stories, and he's been a true gentleman. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Make sure you subscribe, share, and like for more, and I'll see you soon for more videos. Take it easy, guys. God bless. Bye-bye.
Where do you get an idea just for the tank?
You know, we were just sitting, we just had a cup of tea out, we were just sitting there, just thinking, what can we do that's so special? Like my brother had an idea, get 5 or 6 Lamborghinis or whatever. You know, we could do that as well, but it was just missing that little bit of, you know, something special.